Peace, y'all. Before we get started, I felt compelled to remind everyone to stay safe and stay abreast of all the atrocities happening around the world. The people of Palestine, Tigray, Congo, Sudan, Haiti, and countless other territories are currently fighting for their rights and their lives. And if you're choosing to take action, please take every precaution you can. Stay hydrated, stay in groups, cover your face, and please, more than anything, don't lose hope. I've been leaving links to organizations and resources at the bottom of every episode description for a good minute, so please go check those out for places to donate and to find ways to take action today. We're not free until all oppressed people in the States and abroad are free. Much love, stay strong, and stay dangerous. What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is Rhode Island producer and composer AGGRO. We spoke about the scores for Jaws, Terminator 2, Jurassic Park, and Scarface, pioneering finger drumming on the MPC, transitioning from producing for rap icons like Cameron, Styles P, and Jay Electronica to embracing trance and dance music, the pros and cons of scoring a film for the first time, and the creative process behind composing the music for Harmony Korine's surrealist action movie AGGRO Drift. Come fuck with us. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Real Notes. It's a rainy, muggy Tuesday. I think the sun is trying to fight its way out, but nah, it's too hot. We needed a shower. I'm fine with it not being 90 for a little bit, but my name's Dylan Green, CineMasai. Got a lot of names, do a lot of shit outside, inside, all sides. And today, I'm with somebody today who's been all over the world, coming from the East Coast, going to the West, Europe, everywhere. This guy's done a lot. We got a bona fide production legend here today. Like I'm not gonna list too many names, but you know, like man's worked with Dipset, The Lox, Lloyd Banks, ASAP Mob, Zelia Banks, Fabulous, Harmony Korine, you know, like just like work you know, you like worked across genres. The MVP of the MPC, Rhode Island's finest, araabMUZIK is in the house. I'm kind of geeked about this one. AGGRO Drift soundtrack is in stores and everywhere you can hear it now. AGGRO Drift. If you can find AGGRO Drift, go watch it. It's kind of hard to find right now, but bro, thank you once again. I told you this already, but thank you so much for being here. It means a lot.
Likewise, dog.
Yeah, no, you already. And like, yeah, like I was saying, I managed to find AGGRO Drift. They were, I think they were playing it at like the Alamo Draft House, and like a homie of mine was just like, let's go see this. All I knew about it was that Harmony Korine was directing. So I went and watched it, and the whole time I'm thinking like, damn, this score is crazy. Like I love like the atmospheric vibes and just like all the synths, and it's kind of like vaporwave and trance-ish. I was like, this is crazy. And then I see your name pop up in the credits, and I was like, araabMUZIK, like, so it completely caught me off guard. So just like first and foremost, congrats. Like it's a pretty crazy cool achievement. So like good looks on the score.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was just kind of crazy the way that came about. It all started with an email, and then it just went from there. Of course, he was a fan of the music projects, everything that I got going on. Of course, the sound, and he wanted just to capture that sound for this film score or whatever you want to call this project, because he doesn't call it a film. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
Some other type of experiment thing, as you can see, and yeah, we chopped it up. He basically just told me how he wanted it to be like and sound and all that. And I was just like, all right, cool. He just gave me the freedom to just be me, man. Just do what I'm already doing. He wanted to capture that dark, eerie, atmospheric sound. You know what I mean? And I was just like, all right, cool. And I locked in on that. I sent it sent it to him to just, see what his thoughts were or whatever, and then he liked everything. I mean, it was nothing crazy. Like the process wasn't even super crazy, like how real movie big budget films be like. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess the
Yeah.
process usually like when they are getting a composer to do the music for the film, they send the film to the composer and then they compose the music to the film.
Right.
This time it was the opposite. I was just doing music and then they'll take the music and place it where they feel worked. You know,
Okay.
yeah. So they were giving me like storyboards and pictures and just stuff like that. And I was just like, cool. But I already got the concept and it was whatever. Like I was just locking in, just making all types of stuff back to back to back to back, and they'll just arrange whatever they felt fit. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
what's that, man?
So, okay, so you're saying that was all of this, was the stuff you were was this just like a combination of things that you had already been making and like just so happened to fit with the storyboards they sent you? Or was this
Nah,
like,
I was doing everything fresh for sure. I mean,
gotcha.
maybe 1 or 2% stuff I already had and it fit. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
everything else was completely like original on the spot. It was me just locked in the studio for like 2 weeks and just going crazy, um, just experimenting with sound and stuff that I really didn't ever really use or mess with and not like that. So
Right.
you know, and that was that, bro. I was obviously in contact with Harmony Direct, so I was sending him stuff that I was making, and man, he was just loving everything, bro. You know what I mean? I was just home running everything. I didn't have to stop at a base.
Right.
I was just I was just running around the field the whole time. Like, man, this guy is just home running everything, huh? You know what I'm saying? I was Steph Curry with the 3 pointers.
Right.
I have core shots, man. You know what I'm saying? Slam dunking. Just you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that was a blessing, bro. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, don't really have this, opportunity and this was something I always wanted to do, of course, score
Mhm.
music. You know, now this is like a whole new world, a whole new, field I'm stepping into outside of
Right.
regular music production. So it's gonna take me, you know, another big markets, and you know what I'm saying? Just be in that realm of film scoring. It's just gonna elevate me to where, you know, one thing goes to another.
Yeah.
Especially when the score is so good, you know what I'm saying? It's just undeniable, bro. They're just gonna be like, damn. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to what this is gonna bring, of course. Yeah, man, I'm ready to just keep going.
That's tight. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a natural progression from everything you were doing on the Electronic Dream stuff. And of course, like I read in another interview that was the project that Harmony Korine heard, that he was like, "Oh yeah, like I want this guy to make a score for
Yeah.
one of my movies," which is like super dope. And like that's the thing that's like, because like it surprised me because I didn't know like going in, but
Mhm.
like no, but like knowing your music, I was like, oh, like it would make perfect sense that he'd want him to score something like this. While we're on the subject of that, like let's run it all the way back with you with your movie history. What's the first movie experience you can remember having? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. Like the first thing that comes to mind for you. It doesn't have to be the very first thing, but just the first thing you could think of.
Damn, I definitely don't remember the first movie in the theater or anything like that. But the first couple movies I do remember, classic ones, because I'm from that era. I'm '89, so I'm like the cusp. I'm like both eras, and I'll say like Jaws, Jurassic Park. Just kept those themes and just just being a kid, just being afraid of the animals, the big dinosaurs and stuff like that, like every other kid would be, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
um obviously it's the scoring that made the film be the film. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
um, when the shark comes is close nearby, whatever, you hear those two notes going, you know what I'm saying? Um and it's just each composer just always nailed, each scene and the overall feeling of the film. You know what I mean? All the action movies, the Batman,
Yeah.
and Supermans, uh, and another big film I'm a super fan of is Terminator. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Terminator 2, that's my favorite movie. You know what I mean? For sure. Like such a classic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Judgment Day, bro. I see
Yeah,
that
man.
just the other day. I just had to revisit it again. The scoring on that one is nuts. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I kind of wanted to take those approach, you know what I'm saying, and just, and of course the classic, super classic Scarface. That's the
Yeah.
ultimate film. The scoring on that is like, man, you hear that anywhere, you already know exactly, you know what I mean? So I kind of wanted to, you know, give this film an identity, something that people can know it's that, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
at the end of the film, you hear that one with the horns, you know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Yeah. Yeah.
purposely make that be the main title um uh score or whatever, but it worked perfect. Like they took that and I didn't know I made a hit. I made something that's really the what I mean, the main theme of the movie,
Yeah.
film, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's me, man. Like that shit right there was fire for me to capture without even noticing, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're so in it that, like I can't ever view myself like others do because I'm the talent. I'm the, what I'm saying? So it's hard to
Yeah.
view myself like how or hear like the way others hear me. So as I'm making stuff, it's normal to me. So you know what I mean? But to the others, they're like, yes, what? You know what I'm saying? So it's been like that forever. So I'm just immune to it. I'm numb. It's like, but hearing it back, especially me hearing it at the Tribeca Film Festival in New
Right. I'm
York.
sure. Yeah.
Oh man, hearing it in that theater, the way it was just mixed, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing it all together, you know what I'm saying? It's fire. I'm sure just like actors, you know what I'm saying? They do that for a living, so it's whatever to them, right? But then they
Right.
see themselves, watching it back, they're like, damn, them effects is crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, man.
real, bro. So it's kind of the same feeling, but you know, on the music side. And so it was definitely an accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah, like it. Yeah, yeah. Because like once again, like this is like your first time getting the chance to like score a movie, and you would also mention other places that the score for Scarface is one that really inspired you.
Mhm.
So like what? So I mean like I want to touch on that specifically. Like, what was it about the score for Scarface that, like, I mean, like, it's a great score. Like that's one of the like I remember when I first saw Scarface, and that was one of the first things that really caught me about it. But like, what was it about the score for Scarface that really kind of like stirred something in you?
Well, it was the dark notes. I mean, the dark everything was just out the gate, just keeping you, you know, interested and of course the whole storyline. You know what I mean? That score was just like the perfect thing to just tie it all together. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's it's simple is like simplicity is the best. You know what I mean? Less is more. So it wasn't
Yeah,
so super complex and crazy. It was just a simple, you know, chord progression and with the symphony. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro, it was just as a producer, as an upcoming inspiring producer, and and all that, just hearing it, because of course I'm a musician
Yeah.
first, been drumming and all that stuff. So I just went into wanted to make my own music, and stuff like that. So just hearing all types of music, seeing all types of films with good music. You know what I'm saying? It just inspires you to want to create and be, you know, someone that also, is known for making good stuff. And yeah, bro, I just kept at it for years and years. I was consistent, I was determined, I was confident. I was everything that you need to be to keep going. Of course, you're never as good in the beginning, but as you keep going, get better and better and better, and you know that's how you become, you know, that person. You know,
Right.
that's it, bro. Like my story is pretty straightforward and simple. It's not super complicated or dramatic like other people's. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They try to make they make it sound like they were going through World War One, two, and three to make it like that's not. It was never that deep, bro. You know what I mean? Just so I'm not gonna say it like I had a rough, crazy upbringing and all that to make it where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you know, my whole thing was just staying focused. I mean, I was just focused and I knew what I wanted to do. Um, I obviously didn't think I was going to be, you know, uh, the MVP of the MPC, you know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm that guy with that machine because I brought my drumming skills and applied it to the MPC. That's why it's just
Right.
so natural to me. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the finger drumming and the live stuff like that. And of course I pioneered that. You know what I mean? I'm the you know what I mean? I'm Michael Jordan of that thing, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like now it's a thing, you know what I mean? But I was
Right.
doing that in what, '06? That's when I really first started, doing the YouTube videos and
Yeah.
all the you know what I mean, all the shows and stuff like that. And yeah, I basically just brought that um piece of studio equipment and brought it to the stage. You know what I'm saying? And now, shout out to all the, you know, live finger drummers out there, but we all know who the, who the originator of that is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And yeah, no, because I know you come from a musical family. I know your father was a singer, and you just did a whole bunch of things
Mhm.
coming up. One thing I don't think I knew off top though is that you were actually like a drummer beforehand. That's what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, when did you start drumming, and when did that lead to you like turning the MPC into I'm just like the finger drumming thing.
Well, I was born with the gift, so I guess I was drumming at the age of 3. I got my first official drum set at, I believe, 5 years old, and I was just drumming forever. I was drumming in church. I was drumming in, um, I was doing like drum offs at the Guitar Center
Yeah.
against grown men, just beating them at a young age with the skills. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy, bro. Like it was just like I was in a college band when I was like in elementary school.
Yeah.
Kind of
Wow.
that kind of says, it kind of says it all. Like it's just funny because like being a kid and just being able to just drum and show your talent and just what I'm saying, just explore different age groups of bands and stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of like being in a club, in a grown people club at a young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're like
yeah,
the
yeah.
only kid. You're the only kid who's in part of that club. Everyone is grown and all that. So, that just showed you that like my skills is good. You know what I'm saying? It was like being a kid prodigy. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
Right.
but I did that, and then um I was just like, man, I just want to become a producer now. I just want to just take my talents and just be able to do something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no, I got into piano, so I was just learning keys and just messing around, and just teaching myself how to play. I didn't I didn't get taught lessons or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to learn everything on my own, figure it out, and then from there, I was just creating beats and loops and like you know recording beats onto cassette tapes. I still have them too.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have all my beat tapes. They say like 2001 on it, 2002, 2003. You know what I mean? I'm looking back, and I've been producing for over 20 years.
Yeah,
I
man.
started producing at age 11, 10, 11 years old. I
Mm,
got professionally in the industry at age 15.
right.
You know what I mean? But I've been really cranking out beats at like the age of 12 on a
Yeah.
Yamaha keyboard. And then from there, I started making tracks on like this beat drum machine program on the computer. And then that's where I was learning how to chop samples and learn all the different types of, soul groups, Diana Ross, Al Green.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just learning all the groups from all the genres, alternative rock down to the soul, down to the you name it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like a
Right.
human library, and I learned all that on my own. My parents weren't into listening to none of that. Like I never really you know got put on to none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I was just learning everything on my own, and I was learning how to just you know um navigate through all the different types of equipment that I was, um, working with. And then my first MPC was the MPC 1000, which was a
Yeah.
little small, compact one, because that was just the easiest one that I knew how to work with versus the 2000 XL. It was just before my time, so you know, it was just easier for me to be able to navigate through. And then a year later, the 2500 came out, and that's been the MPC I've been using since. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, man. And from there, I just, the rest is history, man. Years later, I'm still using the same joint.
Yeah. Is it the exact same one that you got when you first got it, or have you been I mean, like, I assume you got like new ones at some point, but is it do
No,
you still
yeah,
have that first one you had?
nah, definitely not the first exact one, but
Okay.
I still have the same MPC. It's right here,
That's
man.
tight. Wow. Amazing.
Good.
That
And
shit is
so,
beautiful, man. That's
so like, that's where it's at right there. But I mean, of course they got all the new NPCs and all that, but if
yeah.
it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
Yeah, exactly. You can't mess with the classics,
Right.
you
There's
know?
not even that. It's just no right way or wrong way to make music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're creating music, someone's not sitting there critiquing what you used to make it. Like this beat sounds like he made it on Fruit Loops, man. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. Like no one's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's gonna. It don't matter what you use as long as it's good.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like they don't. But everyone's stuck on the newest like the newest whatever. You mean like you
Right.
have to have the newest or no, you don't actually. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people get caught up on the more equipment you. I mean nowadays having real equipment is not a thing. Everything is digital.
Right.
For me, I'm at least I'm still using hardware because it's all I know how to use. And I mean, I'm not really you know the mouse clicking type to create, but I do use FL for my VSTs and stuff like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I have that as my DAW. And um yeah, it just works. It just works well with the setup that I have, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, as long as you're just good at what you do, it doesn't matter what you use. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no, as long as you got the passion and as long as the shit comes out and it sounds and feels dope, fuck it,
Right.
like,
That's it. That's
yeah,
all that
like,
matters. Yeah.
yeah, no, like I know people who use, I know people who only use DAWs. I know people who only use like physical, like whether that be like an MPC or an SP, like whatever. Like everyone's got a different technique. Some
Right.
people use both, but like
Mhm.
I'm like you were just saying that you more or less use both, but you kind of prefer like you have a DAW, but you prefer having like the physical pads to touch, which like that's great,
Mhm.
and like that lens, like like that's what your style is, like that's how I know I'm listening to an ARABMUZIK beat. Like like
Yeah.
it doesn't sound the same if there aren't
Right.
the crazy drums in it. Like I was just rewatching your Boiler Room you did in Miami not too long ago,
Yeah.
and just like seeing the way you were like going, and like and like of course you've done Boiler Room like quite a few times before
Right.
that, but just like
Mhm.
that's like that performance part of it is like that's like you really do look like a conductor, just like
Mhm.
smashing out the notes and the drum pads. It's like that's part of the experience of your music. Like that's what makes
Right.
an ARAB music beat an ARAB music beat. So
Mhm. Yeah.
like that's yeah, I appreciate that. you know
For sure, man. There's still a big, large group of people that love the art, the artistry of what I do, and just what the MPC brings. You know what I mean? It just
yeah,
is different versus all the other stuff, and especially for the older machines. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely has a lot to do with the way I EQ and compress my stuff too. You know what I'm saying? It's not just straight out the gate, the MPC when you turn it on, it sounds like that. Nah, like I have of course, a secret ingredient to
yeah,
where all my stuff is sounds the way it does. You know what I mean? So,
that's cool. Yeah,
but obviously for the score, I didn't use the MPC.
right.
So I
Yeah,
had a
yeah, no, which is like even more of a head bust, because it's like like not only have you never scored a movie before, like you're doing it without without like your right hand,
right.
like in that sense, and you're really kind of wading into unfamiliar territory. So I mean, considering the fact that like you're talking in the beginning about being a kid at the in these college bands and just kind of like throwing yourself in and like having that gift and being like prodigious in that way, and now you're at this point where you're making the score without the thing that people know you for. It's like, this is like, let me step into this. Like those are two incredibly like like at least to me, like hearing them, like like were either of those things like intimidating for you? Like was there ever a point where you were like
Yeah,
scared of like, oh
definitely,
shit, yeah, like
definitely. Any kid would be. You know what I'm saying? But I just had to. Well, with me, it kind of helped. It kind of helped me just over you know just get over the the fear of being on stage early,
yeah,
because basically I was always in front of big crowds. So it
right.
was it was like easy for me to just always, perform in front of large crowds because I was always in front of large crowds as a kid. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So, a lot of people are stage fright, or they're not used to, being in front of, big crowd or whatever it is. So, with me, it kind of like helps. It kind of like hypes you up. You know what I'm saying? If there's
Yeah.
no people, you're like, damn, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus there's a lot of people. Ooh, he's like, you rub your hands together. You're like, watch this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no, it's
saying?
like let me put on a show. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that was the way it, made me just go crazy every time. Was the more people, the more I was gonna perform. Of course, in the very, very beginning, of course, every person was gonna be, shy, timid, whatever. But after, wow. Like if you notice, I don't even look up at the crowds anymore. I just
Yeah.
go in. I just I'm just focused, bro. You know
You're
what I mean?
locked
Of
in,
course I'm
bro.
gonna look
Yeah.
up and all that, but I'm not the type to just be on the microphone and be the whole overall, act. Like I'm the host. Nah, like
Yeah, no,
I
you're
got
not emceeing. Like, yeah,
yeah, I'm
definitely.
not I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna, you know, people don't really hear me talk much, you know what I'm saying, unless I'm doing interviews or whatever the case is like that. But I'm not really the type to be vocal and speak and just,
Right.
but we're in an era now that you have to. Unless what you're doing doesn't really require you to speak. But
Right.
you know, I'm just tapping back into, these markets now that, you know people want to know more and hear your story and just, what I mean. But I just do things that make sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Right.
gonna just create something that, what I mean. I'm not the you know the social media type to just talk. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna
Of
just
course.
show what I'm about. You know what I mean? And you know, my whole thing is music. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
speak through the music. My
Right.
music talks for me. You know what I'm saying? My music's telling the people what's going on, and just what, like, with the soundtrack, people are definitely hearing that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I know
man.
it's just funny because it's like, you know a big majority of the people don't know about the film and the score. Like they're knowing now, right?
Right.
So a majority of the fans are like thinking that the soundtrack's going to be beats. No, it's it's
Yeah.
it's 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 the music from the film. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of them were disappointed because they're expecting drums and this and that. It's just like,
Yeah.
nah,
I can
man.
imagine. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they were kind of like, it's fire. Yeah, they love it. But they just was expecting them to have the drops and everything. But
Right.
I will be releasing a studio album version of the AGGRO soundtrack
That's tight. Okay.
with the drums, with, my interpretation of, my way of, it's crazy because I'm basically sampling myself.
Right.
This time, you know what I'm saying? And just, giving the people what they want, what they expecting now. This is the version. This is the movie score version. Now I'm gonna give you you know, the production artist version. You know what I'm saying, of the soundtrack. So definitely look forward to that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna do numbers, of course, because, man, the soundtrack is already crazy. So just imagine, you know, those things with beats and drums and
Right.
sequences and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Even crazy. So yeah, man, definitely look out for that soon.
Yeah, easy. Like before we move back into the like there's obviously some more like finer details about the soundtrack that I want to touch on, but I'm really stuck on what you said about like speaking through the music and like letting that kind of be your voice. And I remember the first time I saw your rhythm roulette you did for Mass Appeal, like
Oh
seeing
man, yeah.
seeing you in the shop, and then like there's the moment
Yeah.
at the beginning where you're like, I don't really sample off vinyl, I prefer to sample off of
Yeah,
CDs.
I was the first producer to sample off digital, like, CDs, and that whole thing is based off record sampling.
Right, yeah, so like
Literally,
that.
like, but with me, I was like the only exception. Like, you know what, for you, we're
Right.
gonna have you just go into a vintage CD shop, you know what I'm saying, and just do it like that. So
Right.
It was cool for sure.
That just that just like speaks to your that just speaks to you just wanting to do things your own way. Because like I can think of, because it was you on the CDs. They had Tony Seltzer on there. He sampled off of VHS tapes. I think they had Oh No on there. He sampled off of I think like N64 game cartridges or some shit. But everybody else does it off vinyl, which like great. Like we all love vinyl, but like it was just cool. Like I think yours might have been the first one where it wasn't vinyl, and I was like, oh cool, like CDs, and just seeing you like go through the things and like make the beat from scratch, and like it was, I don't know, like that was really like I'm a nerd when it comes to production stuff like that. I love seeing process. I love talking about process. I love you know, like I also grew up in a musical family. My father's a musician. He used to like produce his own stuff, like in, you know, I mean, like in the crib, like in his little home studio. So like I like seeing people make stuff. So like that's
Yeah.
so like seeing you do that way was just like yeah, like that was just dope. And then even just like thinking about the way you put that together got me thinking. Yo, my fault. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to shout out the all new Real Notes Patreon page real quick. If you're looking for ways to connect and directly support the podcast, the Real Notes Patreon is the best way to do so. For as little as $5 a month, you can gain early day before access to every forthcoming episode of Real Notes, as well as an invite to the Real Notes Discord server, where you can talk to others about the latest and greatest in movies and music, come through for some listening sessions, and talk about whatever else is on your mind. I know I'm gonna be talking a bunch. If you feel like coming up off a little bit more, you could get cool exclusive content, like audio from Real Notes Live and Real Talk interviews. Those will be exclusive to patrons and ticket holders moving forward. Access to retro versions of my 60-second Minute Maid movie reviews, and even a monthly writing and podcasting workshop hosted by me. Regular episodes will still be available on a weekly basis anywhere you get your podcasts, but if you want the extras, you gotta come out them pockets a bit. Check us out at patreon.com/realnotes. That's REELNOTES. I appreciate your consideration and support more than you know. Now let's get back to talking. There's just a handful of your songs, like speaking of stories and like beats and stuff, there's like a couple beats that came to mind for me while making these questions that I just wanted to like hear a little bit about, because like there's just some that really stick to my ribs. Like the first one that came to mind when I was making this all was the song you did for Cameron and Gucci, Cuffin'. You know, like I love that beat. I love the hook. I love Cam's melody all over it. Gucci's very like talk to me about making Cuffin', because that song is fucking great.
Thank you, man. Damn, that's the first person ever to mention that track. Crazy Cuffin', man. Yeah, I remember that whole era, man. Just man, you know, classic time, bro. That's man. So of course I was using the keyboards for all of those tracks I was making at the time. He had he had a Yamaha motif in the studio. I had the Triton, the Roland Phantom, and the motif. And that track was made on the Roland Phantom. And I was just going through sounds again, you know, just browsing, and I came across that synth. And with that one, I started off with the melody. Din, 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 you know what I'm saying? And then with the drum, sequenced it the way I did, and I was just playing them tracks. Landed on that one. I was like, yeah, that's definitely one of the ones, and he threw Gucci Man on it. It was crazy.
Yeah, like like I don't know, like that song is just like so fun to me. Like it really does feel like an outside, like summertime type of song, and it's, you know, like going through the discog and just like remembering that happened. I was like, damn, like you know, like it just felt good to run it again, you know.
Yeah, the whole Gangster Girls series is classic for sure.
Yeah, man.
That was a time where I was making like 15 beats a day. Like straight up, back to back too. Not even breaks in between. I was cranking 10 to 15 tracks a day, every day.
Right.
So, oh man, I was just like a sweatshop beats, just me though, you know what I mean? Full cam and whoever he had working, studio at the time, whatever. So
Right.
that's how we were just working. Same thing with Get in Ohio.
Uh-huh.
That was a big classic record that I produced for Cam, and I made that one on the Triton. And again, it was the same thing. I was going through sounds and landed on that one. Came up with that melody, and I made that way before I met him. But that was the actual first track that really landed my placement with him.
Right.
For Crime Pays.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
That was
man.
when that was when you were still in high school, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. I think maybe not. Maybe I just graduated. Maybe I was still in high school.
Yeah. You were like on the cusp, like.
Yeah, I was right. I was, right there, man. That's another thing too, man. I was doing so bad in school because I was just, and I mean,
Yeah.
I was in the mix, man. I was in the mix while being a high school student. It was kind of hard to focus, especially when you're back and forth to New York and dealing with artists. Like it was just crazy. It was nuts. So
That's tight.
yeah,
Um,
that's what really got me, you know, certified for that particular album. And then after that, that's when we were going crazy with the Gangsta Grills. Then that's when he was bringing on artists, and you know what I mean. And then from there, I released Electronic Dream, and then started touring, doing the shows.
yeah.
I kind of separated, you know, you know. Well, that's when I introduced the hybrid, the electronic with, you know what I'm saying, and
Right.
so I was able to do the electronic shows, get on all these big festivals,
Yeah.
and still do the rap stuff. You know what I mean? So I was like both worlds.
Right. And yeah, like that's something that you really embrace. Like I always appreciated that you could do stuff like like you could go and make like the Electronic Dream series and then come back and do stuff like Arab Styles or Styles P, or
Yeah.
like come in real quick and do something like what you did on like the Blinding for Jay Electronica. Like the first half, like the Blinding beat
Mm-hmm.
is just like
Crazy.
it's wild to me because like you mentioned that hybrid, like that beat feels like a hybrid of those two styles. Like you kind of have
Mm-hmm.
like the Gatling gun MPC thing going on, but it's all like dissonant electronic, like almost like once again like trancey noise, like, and it's crazy to
Yeah.
hear, and like it's crazy to hear Jay and Hove on a track like I've never heard either of them rap on beats like that. So it was like just like that was I think that's a perfect example of that kind of coming together, and that shit is just dope. Like
Crazy, right? Yeah, man. Shout out to Swiss for the placement. You know what I mean? It was crazy because getting that phone call, preparing me for Guru to call me was like, what I mean, just prepping me like, yeah, that track is for this. You know, Homeboy's gonna hit you, get them, get those files for him to mix,
Yeah.
and it's go time. You know what I'm saying? And that album got Grammy nominated,
Uh-huh.
so that's what made me, be a Grammy nominated producer. So, yeah, man, it was. Yeah. The only whack crazy thing about that is that the album released on the day the world got shut down.
Yeah, man. Oh, son, I
Bro,
was in
I was on my way to the album release, listening, all that, and halfway through Connecticut, I had to turn around. It's Code Red, man.
damn, yo, I
Code
was in I was in Oklahoma when that happened. I was at like a summit doing something for rap down there, and the Jay Elect album was one of the things that we were all like, because like we had all come from different parts of the country, and nobody knew what was happening with COVID because it was literally brand new. We were all navigating it. And the Jay Elect album was one of the albums that we all listened to and like talked about and like
And on top
discussed.
of that,
It was
not to
crazy.
mention, he hasn't dropped in how long?
Right. You know, like it had
So
been
for him
like,
to actually drop this, it was just the anticipation was crazy, man. And
yeah.
he has so many different big legendary producers on the project.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I'm
like,
saying that,
yeah.
yeah, man. So it was definitely an honor to be a part of it, for sure.
Yeah.
And then it was two songs in one. So the other half was
Hit Boy.
Travis, Hit Boy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like really, like like I said all that to say that was like a special moment, and like being able to like sift through that
Yeah,
project, like it
definitely.
was, yeah. I mean, it was a special moment for me, special moment for you. Got you a Grammy nomination. Like that's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a time. Like like that stuff that's gonna stick in the back of my head forever. You know,
Forever, for sure. That's
like
definitely in the Grammy nominated building now. I was like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
man.
that's what we do it
Yeah,
for. A lot of people, you know what I mean? It's like getting nominated for an Oscar, you know what I mean? But for the
right.
producer, I mean, like, so it was
So
definitely a great achievement for sure.
yeah, that's tight. So fast forwarding back over to AGGRO Drift and you and Harmony Korine like making contact and establishing that relationship.
Yeah.
Like talk to me, talk to me a little bit about starting to actually put the score together. Cause like you mentioned earlier that they started sending you storyboards and you're just like putting music together based on the stuff you're seeing. And you're like, especially considering that you're not using the MPC and you're kind of doing this like off like the vaporwave synth tip. So like, talk to me about the process of like putting this project together and kind of doing it in a way that's not foreign to you, but like different,
Mhm.
like this is different.
Yeah. I mean, it was just me locking in on certain uh I guess moods. It was different, it was like, all right, for this set of tracks, I'm a keep it dark, and um what I say, I was just locking in on what um specific like styles I kind of wanted to just execute with first, because it was what, 80 something minute movie, right?
Yeah, like barely, like barely an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a lot of music to compose and just record with. And I was just doing everything in pieces, sections. you know um I was just figuring out what direction I wanted to just lock in the first half with. And that was just the dark, gritty, stuff that you see in the beginning of the film. As you see how it starts off with the guy in the pool getting
Yeah.
yoked up, right? So it was like stuff like that for throughout the half of the film. So I was just, giving him that suspenseful stuff, and then afterwards, I was just, uh, experimenting with the more ambient sounds, the vocals, the strings, synths, and then towards the end was more of you know, the battling type,
Yeah.
300 gladiator, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I was just approaching it like that, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to be all over the place either. You know what I mean, I kind of wanted to categorize, you know, these pieces of music and not just be all over the place, but also just kind of attack everything as far as the storyboard went. You know what I mean? Especially because I wasn't watching the film while, you know, composing the music for it. So,
Right,
uh,
which is
I,
which yeah. Sorry,
yeah,
I didn't cut you off.
that's cool. It was with this I was just going about it like I was with tracks, but without beats,
Right.
without the. So I was doing it like in that form versus just being free and just doing all types of melodies and you know what I mean, like your traditional film scoring movie would be. You know what I mean? So I was just treating this one like a drumless album.
Yeah. Which is like a funny to think about because like you're known as like you know like it's like it was hard for me to imagine Arab music without drums. And but like that's also part of the reason why it was like cool for me to go in not knowing it was you, because
Mhm.
then I was like surprised in a good way
Yeah,
to be like, oh, it's Arab music, like
yeah,
that's,
right.
you know, like
Because I mean, like, look, man, like when I was watching the film with the people out in L.A.
yeah.
when he was doing the premiering with the show, I'm watching everyone just bopping their head like a drum's gonna like it's gonna
Hmm.
stop and it don't drop ever. But it just
That's
keeps the people just like watching the film like if they're listening to a song.
that says it all right there, man. It really
Literally.
does.
You know what I mean?
Like,
That's not something you see because, you know, people are not scoring film like a rap song or any
right.
type of song, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just a good melody that, has a steady pace and you know what I mean? And yeah, bro, it just worked. It just worked.
Yeah, and yeah, it's cool to hear that you kind of like wanted to section things off into like different types of moods and vibes, because like, you know, you look at like the beginning, like like the first, like I would say like the first like 7 or 8 or yeah, like the first 8 tracks, because King's Arrival is the number 8. Like
Mhm.
that really does feel like it feels like a sampler of all the different types of moods and vibes like that come across the rest of the project, because this is like 34 tracks.
Yeah.
And and you're like, and like one another thing I really noticed, like most of them, I mean, like you're talking about just like you're talking about composing all this music, and a lot of these songs are like a minute,
Hmm.
40 seconds, 50 seconds. There's a handful that go over 2 minutes, and like even less than that that are pushing like 3.
Yeah.
And you know, like I was just curious, you know, like considering that you had so much space to fill,
Hmm.
like like I don't want to ask why there were so many minute long songs, but like were those were those ideas that you wish you could have expanded a little further, or were they just things that was like, oh, like this is just a minute? Like I'm having a hard time asking this question for some reason. Like,
Well, I think the way you're, you know, going with it is um I didn't have control of that part.
okay,
Guess it was more on them. If I guess they felt it should have been, you know what I mean? Because obviously I could have made every track 3 minutes, four
right,
minutes. It's easy, nothing, right? But I guess I delivered the music. I gave it to the their engineers and whatever, and
right,
that's what they chose to do. You know what I mean? I guess for each piece of music, I guess they felt it should be this, this amount of minutes. The other one should be this one,
got it,
whatever.
okay,
So it wasn't really on me when
got
it
it,
came to the final, mixing process. I just gave them everything they needed to, be able to, do what they need to do. I did
Right.
my part, and then for this, I guess I don't know. But it's all good, bro. It's all good. I got you with the
Yeah,
album. I got you with the Aggro Drift album, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, nah.
For the fans, don't worry. I got you.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not tripping. Because
Yeah.
like I liked it. I liked it the way it turned out. It wasn't like it was a problem.
Mhm.
I was just
Yeah.
noticing that there were just like a lot of shorter songs, and I think like I think it worked. And it's
Mhm.
like the thing that and like the reason I know this worked for me is because like obviously the music sounds great in the movie. It fits everything, and like just to like put it out there, I love the infrared color design. I love the
Yeah.
Harmony Korine called it game record, like what the vibe of the movie was supposed to be, and just like
Mhm.
and like it really is just like the movie's just vibes. It's like that's like the best way to describe it. It really is like there's like a narrative and stuff going on, but like it
Yeah.
really is just like watching like the most tripped out screensaver imaginable, and just
Yeah,
like
definitely.
and just like coasting to music. And like the
Mhm.
thing that the reason I know it worked is because I enjoyed this album as much by itself as I did watching it with the movie.
Definitely. And that's how a lot of people felt because, they were always mentioning the score. I mean, so
Mhm.
giving somebody just the score, direct, like just straight, man, they were definitely they couldn't wait. I mean, I know that was something they couldn't wait. A lot of people were asking too. They was like, "Yo, is it gonna be a soundtrack? Release a soundtrack?" You know what I mean? And I was just like, "Well, little do you know, it's on its way and it's here." But
Right.
then again, they figured it was gonna have, the drums and beats to it or whatever. But it's all good, man. That's
Yeah.
on its way.
That's
Electronic Dream 2 is on its way. There's so
mhm.
much on its way that it's gonna be a good 24, entering 25. You know what I mean? It's like Jordan releasing previews of what's coming.
Right.
I'm saying it's the same thing. You guys are gonna have a good holiday. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a good spring. A good summer of 25. You know what I mean? It's just like it is what it is. Same thing with film. There's a lot of great movies coming out soon, but
Yeah.
gotta wait. Just know
Yeah.
it's done. This, fans are they're just so anxious, and I get it. You know what I mean? But when you're actually in the industry and you know how it goes and the
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nothing is right away, man. Even though we want it to be, we
Yeah.
would like it to be that way, but everything takes its time.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into just the product and the music and whatever. Like it's a whole rollout, it's a whole. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the good thing is that I'm independent, so I can just do whatever, drop whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I want to do it in a way where it's impactful.
Of
You
course.
know what I mean? It makes sense. It does. It's not me just releasing stuff and people won't know about it because it's not being publicated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Like
that's the
imagine if this film wasn't, public at all. No one would know it
right.
exists.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? At all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But because there's a budget and there's, you know what I mean? Like some real
Mhm.
people in the film like Travis Scott and you know what I'm saying? Like Jordan. Come on, bro. Like and
Yeah.
me, right? With the
Yeah.
with the music, it has to
Uh
it has
huh.
to be it has to be presented right. We have to have a real real press around it and all that. So that's how I
Right.
got, approach even my own projects too. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be releasing stuff just because, you know what I mean? This ain't SoundClick. This ain't MySpace where I can just upload a song on my profile and you go on it and it's out. Like
Right.
you know what I mean? Like we got to do things the right way. And once it's, done that way, you know what I mean? Like it's just a better overall outcome. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
just know that everything is coming. You know what I'm saying? I have so much more projects and albums and stuff that I'm a part of as well. You know what I'm saying? Outside of my own stuff and just definitely keep an eye out.
Definitely, bro. And like And
And
yeah,
like
like
lastly, real quick, not some, no, you see the hat, right?
yeah.
So I got merch on the way
Let's
as well.
go.
So
Let's
finally,
go.
the people can have some merch. They can go cop some hats,
Yeah.
t-shirts, hoodies, all of that, as well as a website, an official website where I'm gonna have all my stuff there. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Fire, bro.
another, thing that it's on its way. So for sure, man, look out
Love
for
it,
that.
man. That's tight. Before we formally wrap this up, it's like you talking about like the rollout and just like rollouts in general for you and this movie. The thing that's been really interesting about like watching this rollout happen is like, like the movie officially premiered last year, like near
Yeah.
the end of last year. And
Mhm.
like this is like everything with it has kind of been staggered because like you have like the premiere last year, it drops in theaters proper like this past May, so like about 3 months ago, type shit. And then like then you put out and then y'all are putting out the soundtrack, like or rather it's out now. Obviously,
Mhm.
go listen to it. But like you like this is like it's been so staggered, which is great, because like that's helping it, like it's giving it legs. And like you said, like there's people out
Yeah.
there, like there's people who might be fans of Harmonies who don't know about you, and of course, like
Mhm.
there's probably your fans who don't know about Harmony. So like this is like it's yeah. So like before I ask my last question and wrap this up, like what like how's it been kind of being a part of this like staggered rollout and kind of being introduced to people who might be more familiar with Harmony's work, like Gummo and Spring
Yeah.
Breakers and all that stuff, and that, yeah, like what's it kind of been like crossing over into that sector of entertainment?
Well, it was an experience, of course. It's always good to, you know, be introduced to different markets, different audiences, especially in the film.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a broader audience for sure. It's putting me in a different light, definitely a different world. And I'm just being introduced to it in such a cool way, different way too, because this is not your typical, you know, film or whatever you want to call this. And yeah, man, it's just I definitely dominated the work, and I feel like this is gonna go a long way. This is not like a short-lived thing. I feel like this is gonna drag on for more, you know,
Mm-hmm.
time, and especially with this soundtrack, it's just gonna, you know, it's just gonna live for a while, man, because this is brand new to all fans. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
again, like film scoring, bro. They're not used to that. That's not something that I've been doing. You know what I mean? And so this is my first time to really be able to, you know, do this type of work, and you know, I'm definitely looking forward to doing more stuff. Of course, I'm gonna, continue working with Harmony. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like officially his guy to, you know, do whatever he has, in the works. So
Yeah.
I'm just ready for more opportunities, more projects, more more of everything, bro. And
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, a few years ago, I had a song in the Grand Theft Auto.
Yep. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
I had Streets Tonight joint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that was a crazy look, and hopefully I could, who knows, maybe I could do beyond GTA 6, man.
I was about to say it's coming. So who knows, man?
Right?
Who
If I was in the last one, why can I have something in this one? You know what I mean,
knows, man?
it's all about connection, relationships, and just you know staying true to yourself, and just you know just just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like sky's the limit, bro. This is just the beginning for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just getting
Definitely.
started now. I mean, like, I've been quiet for a little second, but I never left. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
as you can see, I was, busy doing all this behind the scenes stuff with AGGRO Drift teasing, it here and there because I didn't really want to over, um, uh, just promote. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wanted to just be like at the same time they're doing things. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
so. But it's here, man. The time's here. The calm before the storm is the time has came, and yeah, man. I'm just looking forward to giving the fans more great body of work, um, more film projects, and just everything as a whole, man.
Cool. Man, I love it. Yeah, it's really dope to see you in this light and to see that, like this is like a next step for you. And like on that note, to bring this all together, ARAabMUZIK, if your life was a movie, what would it be about?
Man, what would it be about? Well, world is a crazy place right now, so I feel like everyone would just have kind of like the same kind of. I don't know. I mean, it'd definitely be a great musical. It would be the best Hard Not Life musical film anyone's ever seen, man.
With Gatling gun, MPC drums, and all that shit.
And all
Just
that, bro, because
going out in a blaze of glory.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It would just be, just a very sonically uh film, bro, about I don't know, just regular daily stuff, man. I'm not really into crazy, you know, I feel like I was just made for music, man. That's why I'm just so good at what I do. I mean,
Right.
like everyone has their thing, their passion, their calling. You know what I'm saying? Music's my calling, bro. Like I was here to literally make the best pieces of music for the world to just listen to and just make people feel good and just help them go through whatever they're going through with just my music. You know what I'm saying? Because that's definitely a lot of the things I hear is that my music helps them just go through with you know what I mean, go to overcome whatever they're going through. I mean, like music is the universal language, so
Yeah.
it just music is everything, bro. Like without
Shit
music,
heals,
the
honestly.
world wouldn't be what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like imagine the world without water
Honestly, yeah,
or
it's like I.
trees or just the most the real important things that we need, and
Mhm.
everyone needs music, and like music is literally the number one thing people go to start their day or you know
Right.
you know it just yeah, it's too many to it's countless reasons and things that music does to people, and you know what I'm saying, and I'm just that person that's behind the process of making the people feel the way they feel, and I'm gonna continue doing that, and yeah, man, like I'm just a music guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I
And
don't
that's
know what else
cool,
to say, man. Like, yeah, I'm not a super action packed, you know. Like, I wish I was good at sports. I wish I was good at all these other things, but unfortunately, man, you know, music's my thing. So that's what I'm gonna stick to.
man. Yeah.
That's just what I'm gonna just keep it going, and that's it, man.
Cool. We appreciate you for it, man. And yeah, like thank you. Yeah, like thank you for taking the time. This was a real enlightening convo, and just like the movie's great, the soundtrack's dope. I'm excited to hear it with drums, without drums. Either way, it turned out
Either
great.
way, right? Right.
Yeah, nah. So like, so yeah, like thank you again for taking the time. Everybody go watch Aggro Drift. It's extra fucking fire. Go listen to the soundtrack and just yeah, just keep healing yourself with music and all that.
Right, man. Definitely. Yeah. Appreciate you, man. Likewise. Um, yeah, I'm definitely, you know, happy to just see the reaction, and the
Definitely.
feedback. Feedback's been good. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna keep it going.
Good, man. Happy to hear
The to-
that.
the-
Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.